Welcome back to the Wilson Brothers channel. I'm David. This is Isaac.
What's up, guys?
We got our boy Johnny P, the Italian Stallion. Today we are reacting to another Tom McDonald song. We're trying to catch up because we were late to the train. So we're coming out with probably one every week until we get caught up. So don't forget to subscribe. We love you, Hangover Gang. But today we are reacting to Stronger Version.
Yeah, I love it.
I don't think I've heard this.
I haven't heard this either.
Yeah.
No, I haven't either.
I've heard a lot of it. I got like one day randomly I found him and I went through like probably like 15 of his songs, and some of his stuff is like a little like whoa, like visually it's like a little weird.
Like
yeah, it's a little intense, but like it's because of his message.
Yeah.
Right? And, like I think like same with like Goggins, like you think about his background and where he came from, it makes sense why he's so visually.
Have you
like,
seen the one with Ben Shapiro yet? Facts.
I watched your video on.
Oh, you watched it?
Yeah.
Guys, in the description below, we are super excited about that video.
Let's go.
A couple 100,000 cigarette butts, a million beers or maybe more. Ooh, a couple dozen times I messed things up, but I'm moving on from before. Ooh, people don't like me for things I forgot.
Oh, nice.
I can't pretend to be someone I'm not. I've been sober, I've been wasted, I spent most of my life in between. I've been sorry, been mistaken, I've been nothing but how God made me.
We have been on this train lately of watching these Tom McDonald songs that are not as
Yeah,
screamy.
I mean, I love...
just beautiful.
So obviously, he came from a very addicted background. He came from cocaine, alcohol, and he was very, very, very depressed. I mean,
I think most people that are dealing with addiction, you're self-medicating, right?
Yeah,
Like, you're looking for a way to feel
rough, man.
normal. I mean, that's really, I know my background, like that's what it was. Like I wanted to just feel normal, and like, I mean, you know, obviously I talked about it last time I chatted with you guys, like hedonism was a big thing for me. And I think a lot of people with that type of mentality, like they just want to feel good all the time. Because whether it be trauma they experienced in their past or whether it be just specific things they're going through, it's like, this is the thing that makes me feel normal.
Yeah.
And forget about a lot of that pain, right? You know, people with like OCD or ADD, ADHD, whatever, like even just those things, like you got to get your mind to like calm down. And that's how you do it a lot of times.
I can't imagine, man, because I haven't gone through something like this. I've had more internal battles I've had to fight, but having something that you feel like controls you, whether it's alcohol, drugs, I can't imagine, but I know what it feels like to be hopeless. And then when you come out of it, the world feels like, whoa.
It's like everything blue. Like opens up. Yeah,
it's
like
crazy,
sky's
man.
bluer, grass is greener. Yeah.
But I mean, it controls your behavior too, because you feel so bound by it. You feel like you can't actually make a decision to be better.
Yeah.
Or to get out of it. And so I think that's what he's talking about.
I know anytime too, like I was involved with stuff, like you almost can't see life without it.
Yeah.
Like you're like, if you're doing like whatever it is, I mean, I was pills, weed, alcohol, whatever, like when you're doing it consistently, alcohol was never a thing for me. Like I enjoyed it, but it was never like I had to have it.
Yeah.
But it's still like when you're living your life with this thing constantly and then you think about not having it, you're like, how could I go
for like
even
life
2 days?
is going to be boring kind of thing. Like what am I going to do with my time?
Yeah, exactly. Like how would I go hang out with people and not be high?
How do I cope with this? How do I cope?
It's crazy.
I ain't gonna hate myself no more. Maybe I ain't perfect, but I'm putting that work in. I ain't gonna break down like before. And baby, I'm hurting, but I'm a stronger version. A couple 100,000 pills swallowed, a million tears or maybe more.
Wow.
Oh, a couple dozen pretty hearts I broke, but that isn't me anymore. Oh, people don't like me.
Yeah, it's funny.
Things
Real quick, that party said there a couple, hearts I broke before. Like I remember when I was thinking about a lot of the stuff that I did with like my family and everything. I remember when I really kind of hit that rock bottom and started looking at like what I had did, it was like all I could see was this path of destruction that I left behind. And when you start to really visualize the pain you've caused people, I think that's where like a lot of people that are going through like addiction and torment and things like that, they start to really change because you're starting to see it from a different perspective. I think addicts specifically, like they're so selfish because all they see is themselves. When you start to visualize like, man, I caused this person pain and like this is what they felt. Yeah, bro.
And I love what he said. What did he say? That he doesn't he's not going to be ashamed of himself anymore.
Yeah, because I'm gonna keep trying.
Because
keep
I'm
working.
worth it. I'm going to keep pushing through. It's so different because I'm still so used
His
to
usual version.
His just
No, it's not even that. It's just like you're talking about addiction. You're like, well, I just had this experience that was really traumatic for me and my family. I really want to be better, but how do I cope in the midst of struggle and wanting to do this drug while I feel like nobody in my family actually wants that from me? They want me to be this guy, but I'm struggling and coping to be this guy. Mm-hmm. So you do a two-faced approach where you're one guy in front of them and one guy behind them.
Masks.
Yeah, you're wearing a mask.
My big thing was always I wanted to make people laugh and like happy. You know, like you think of people like Chris Farley and like Robin
good comedy
Williams.
Outlet,
Yeah, like people like that. Like their thing was always like they'd make everyone else laugh, but behind closed doors they were so broken and sad. So I think that was a part of it too. You know, I mean, I was just a selfish POS. You know, I mean, else to say it. I mean, really.
Yeah, I feel you.
But I can't pretend to be someone I'm not. I've been sober, I've been wasted. I spent most of my life in between. I've been sorry, been mistaken. I've been nothing but how God made me. And I ain't gonna hate
Oh, that was cool.
no more. Maybe I ain't,
Yeah, it's cool.
but I'm putting that work in. I ain't gonna break down like before. And baby, I'm hurting, but I'm a stronger version. Lord, I hit the ditch.
I like how he says I spent most of my life in between.
Yeah,
whether
so
it's
I've been sober, I've been
Yeah,
wasted.
what's the in between for you?
it's like this really. You remember what's that show on Netflix everyone loves? The Upside Down World. Stranger Things.
Yeah.
It's almost like you're in that world where it's like you just feel really stuck, man, because you're like, I'm not doing anything right now, but all I want to do is that.
Do you feel like you're towing the line?
You're doing as much as you can without doing it. It's like if you're a porn addict or you're involved with like, you know, if you're with a girl and you're like, oh, I don't want to have sex with her, but like we're gonna do all these other things, but
We're gonna
that.
toe the line.
You've told me as well in the past that you have to feel something you have to find something to fill that void. Because if you are
exactly.
so used to constantly getting that dopamine rush from cocaine or whatever it is, you find something. And for you, it's been fitness, right?
I mean, my boy, they were literally making fun of me yesterday. We were talking about running, and he was like, you have to be pretty sadistic to just go run and be like, yeah, I'm just going to go run like 13 miles. Like, that's fun.
For no reason.
Yeah, he's like,
Yeah.
but you look at it like a lot of people that were former addicts or have trauma, things like that. Not everyone, but like a lot of people that are like endurance athletes specifically. Like, because for me, like I go to a place. Like I go somewhere when I'm doing that.
Where
type
do you
of
go?
stuff. A very dark place.
Isaac's like, I just want to know
No, he said
everything
I go
about
to a
your
dark
life.
place. I want to know where he went.
I mean,
Tell
there's,
me.
you know,
Open up your
Goggins
heart.
had
Let
a
me
thing
in.
recently. Who was it he was talking with? It was probably, I think it was Huberman. And he said, he's like, I flipped through the Rolodex and I'm like, that's it. And that's kind of how I am. I'll be running and like, I'll go to a dark place and like, sometimes, you know, you have a thought or like there was an experience you had and it almost gives you anxiety. Like now I like kind of crave that. I'll think about something and I'm like, man, and I'm like, yeah, this is where we're going to stay for a while.
But most people.
Walked right off the edge. I got knocked down and got up again. Oh, I tried to live more like my friends. I can't be nothing but just what I am. And I've been sober, I've been wasted. I've spent most of my life in between.
This is so different.
Been sorry, been mistaken. I can't be nothing but how God made me.
Amen, brother.
Ain't gonna hate myself no more.
I don't know. I don't like him out the window. It's just weird.
He's being himself. He's not ashamed.
No.
You're trying to put shame on him.
Honestly, no. Whatever.
Didn't we say, let's finish this song?
Dude,
Isaac's like, I don't like him out the window. You ever seen Anchorman?
Isaac's gonna be like, that chest hair.
no, he's out the window. It's like
I like lamp.
it's like super
That's
soft.
Isaac.
I don't know. Like whatever.
What's happening?
I don't like him out the window.
I don't like him out the window.
All right, 25 seconds. We can get through this, Isaac.
Oh, God.
I believe in you.
I ain't gonna break down like before. And baby, I'm hurting, but I'm a stronger version.
a good song though. I do.
It
like
is a good song.
Yeah, it's got a good sound to it. It's funny too. You look at him and it's like he definitely has this like off-putting look, right? Because he's got all the tattoos on his eyes and his face and everything. But then you hear his story and it's like, who's Jelly Bean? That guy that recently was
Jelly
like,
Roll, dude.
Jelly Roll, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Like you hear his story, man, and like you have people, and it comes back to like not always looking at judging a book by its
Very
cover.
countercultural. You know why?
So-
I'll tell you about that later.
So getting back to this song. Well, I don't know what's
I'm sorry,
happening.
his facial. He goes very countercultural.
He is.
The song wasn't. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
This is probably not close to any of my favorites of him. I feel like
not.
there's other ones he does. Even
It's more pop.
it's more pop, but it's more like
Feel
hey,
good.
join me in this whirlwind of love.
The whirlwind of love.
Like I love Tom McDonald. This is probably one of my not as much. I love the story behind it, but he usually goes deeper. This one was very surface level for me, but I still enjoyed it. Tom, again, I got to see you topless, which apparently Isaac doesn't like.
out the window of a car, like
So-
singing like a woman. Like,
You're sounding like a woman. Right? You're like,
dude,
like a
dude,
woman.
stop. I'm trying to give you my perspective. Like, just let me speak my mind.
I think him shirtless has made
I'm just
Isaac
trying to give you- I'm
speechless.
just trying to give you. I'm trying to give you my
No,
perspective.
it's all love.
It's all
It's all
love. I
love.
love
It's all
Tom. We all love Tom McDonald.
Yeah, I like his story because I feel like he's one of the few people today that is fully him.
Yeah,
like you tell, like when
he-
he's
he
goofy
is
and
fully
talking
him.
crazy and
Yeah.
stuff. Like that's just who he is as a
You
person.
know
He's
he is
great.
not bought by anybody.
He's not
Yeah.
bought.
He
Yeah.
refuses to do a record label or sign with somebody and let them control his music. He does everything by
Him and his
himself.
girlfriend,
His
right?
girlring does all his music videos.
Yeah,
His
I remember
girlfriend
hearing
does
that.
it.
And his
Nova.
I think his family's involved in it too.
Dude, it's so cool. Well, we love you guys. What do you think of this video? Isaac had some very fun opinions. So we love you guys. We'll see you on the next video. Don't forget to subscribe. Peace.